Here's how I made $7,389 today trading NASDAQ. Here's the trade right here. Go into replay. So right here at market open, 9:30, we immediately ripped up. There's a 4-hour gap that price wanted to go back into right here. Here's the 4-hour gap. Right there. This was right off the bell of market open, so there was a trade set up, but nothing was taken. I usually wait for the first 15 minutes before I take anything. Let that play out. Right here I'm really sitting on my hands, not doing anything. No FOMO, nothing. It doesn't tap the 4-hour gap there. So I missed the 4-hour gap, but also down here there's a 15-minute gap. Those formed after the first 15 minutes of market open. Usually this gap is very powerful. This gap usually tells a lot of stories. I actually took a small trade, which not a small trade, it's a big trade, it's probably like 10 contracts. But I took this trade off this inversion right here into the 15-minute gap. I usually don't trade like that, but I'm on 5 evals, so I'm trading pretty aggressive. So I take trades like this, but if I was unfunded, I wouldn't have taken this because it's just too many. It's too low probability because we haven't tapped the 4-hour gap, and there's no really clean draws other than the 15. But we inverse this right here. So a 1-minute gap. It takes a second. It's right here. So the replay mode kind of lags, but the big candle, I called it about right here. I just traded right into the bottom of the 15-minute gap. Like this. It's a little choppy. But that was my little cheap trade. I think that was about like 600 right there. And then the main trade was right here. Coming out of this 15-minute. The main reason I knew we were going to go back higher is because order flow. Bookmap. There was orders resting right here at 525, and we tapped them for 527. And then they pulled those orders and they put orders back up here to the 650s, which was right above this 4-hour gap, or that would be tapping into the 4-hour gap. There was nothing really on the 1 minute that could be inversed. So this is where I dropped down to even lower time frame, right at the 30-second. And here's the inversion right here. it's not the best inversion, but like I said, I'm on eval, so I'm taking these very aggressive trades. I'm not scared. But here's the inversion. I waited because these candle closes they're not the best at all for inversions, but then in a couple seconds we get a fat candle right there. Oh, sorry. The replay really lags. But the replay only plays candles, not in real time, from what I know. But I bought like right here. I think this was like 15 contracts right there. Had my stops right here, right under the 15-minute, and then my take profit was up here at the tap into the 4-hour gap because there's orders resting here at the 660s, 667. So I knew we were gonna go up there. So right here was the inversion. After that candle closed, I knew we were reversing. There's also there's a 5-minute gap right here that we also inversed. So I knew we were gonna continue higher. So I didn't take any contracts out or anything. Actually, I think right here I took out maybe like 7, and then I left some runners. A little bit of pullback right here. A full TP right there. And that was it for me. But like I said, this first trade was very, very cheeky. Very something I would never take on funded. I wouldn't even try taking this on funded. I usually like to have cleaner setups, better draws of liquidity, but there's really no session liquidity to be targeted other than always at the Asia high, previous day high right up here. I'm trading on a 1-minute time frame, so the high would have been a little too far to target. But yeah. Oh, and when I took this cheeky trade, NQ was lagging, and I had ES pulled up too, and I seen ES start melting. I seen it start dropping before NQ did, and that was another thing that made me want to get into this little cheeky trade into the 15-minute gap. But this candle right here is what really, and this inversion in this candle really showed me we're gonna go higher after retracing this 15-minute gap. So I just traded out this little 15-minute gap, and yeah. But like I said, very aggressive because I'm on eval. But something like today when I'm trading, there's no news in the morning. There's news today at 2 p.m. Right now it's 12. I don't trade PM session, I only trade AM, so it's just something I never would have taken on funded. But yeah, it was like $1,500 across 5 accounts. I've seen the PA now in the beginning. But these videos are really for my journaling. If you come across them, and if you watch them, then if you have any questions, I'd be glad to help some people, teach them, teach people. But this is more for just personal journaling, my trades. But if you come across them, don't be afraid to ask any questions. And that's it.